Jim from RVing. We just got home from Ohio for Christmas, and we came back to a warm refrigerator, freezer. Our beloved Dometic 6 cubic foot, I think it is, refrigerator seems to have not be working. We had it up running on propane while we were gone because we have no electric here, and came back and it was warm. So we actually took a look outside. Here, I'll take a look here. And if you can see down in there, see all that yellow?
This is not good.
I'm gonna hit the road to see what I can see. I'm gonna hit the road to be what I can be. I'm so tired of looking at this wall. I'm breaking free. I'm gonna do my thing. Baby, won't you come with me? I'm gonna do my thing.
So it's got, that's the refrigerant that's leaked out of it. And it interacts with the air, I suppose, as they say, and it turns yellow to like a sulfur material. And so it means our refrigerator is basically a shot. So we're going to replace it. So the first step for us was going to be, we need to cap off this gas line here so we can still run our gas. And I think we're going to have to run a new set of wires, 10 gauge wires or 12 gauge wires back to my battery, because I think we're going to get a 12 volt refrigerator, and these wires here are not 12 gauge. So we will take you on a journey here. We're going to remove this refrigerator and replace it with a 12 volt refrigerator from Dometic. It says it's the same size, but it's actually 8 cubic feet. So it should fit in the same hole, but it should be a little bit bigger on the inside. And I shouldn't need any of this. Like there's a temperature gauge, had a PC fan, so when it got hot, it never did really run because it never did get hot to run it. The chimney effect here is pretty good. We were out in California and it ran sometimes there, so I think it was worth doing all that. But the fan and the temperature thing here, in Florida it hasn't run, in Ohio it hasn't run, but in California it did. So anyway, follow us along on this journey here. We're going to start working on replacing this 3-way refrigerator with a 12 volt DC powered refrigerator. First step is going to remove this gas line right here and plugging it. And I went to the hardware store, and Lowe's has this 3H flared plug, which we'll put in to plug the gas line so we can actually run our heater still without worrying about gas coming out of the refrigerator port. Okay, so I finished capping off the gas line that went to the air conditioner, to the refrigerator, the cap there. No need for tape since it's a flared nut fitting there. And then I took the 12 volt supply out, and the 12 volt supply also goes to the furnace, so it had to be reconnected. But so this wire came from the electric box to the refrigerator in this junction box here, and then went out to the furnace. So it just has to be connected together so the furnace can still work. And I think we're ready to start actually pulling the refrigerator out. So that's the next step.
Jim's got the doors off. We just ripped them off because the door's no good anyway. The refrigerator's no good anyways. We've looked. There should have been a screw over here, but they never bothered to stick it in at the factory. Now we just have to pull it out. It's extremely heavy though.
Okay, we got the refrigerator out of the hole. It's inside here. And as you can see, it's kind of messy. And it's getting dark outside. So I'm just going to put some Reflectix over the hole on the inside and outside. And we're going to tackle this in the morning as far as getting it insulated and getting it a box built around. There's a, you know, the access hole for the refrigerator in the back, which is outside the camper, is no longer needed under a 12-volt system. Neither is the roof vent. So we're going to try to fill those in as best we can and build something around it so it insulates it, so it doesn't let cold air come in from the outside. And I'll show you that project here as soon as we get started tomorrow. So anyway, this is where we left off for tonight. And the roof vent, there was insulation on the side of the wall, as you can see, where they just kind of like glued on, I guess. There was something holding it. It was like a light glue, like maybe a spray glue or something. Anyway, I pulled it off the wall. I stuffed it in the roof vent up here and then covered the hole with Reflectix as well. And just stapled it up. And of course, there's my wires for my solar system coming down through. I just went around those. But you're just feeling in here right now. It's cold outside. And if I just feel in here, it's nice and warm in this cavity. So we're not losing much air, if any. And the roof is now sealed off. Just stapled some Reflectix, filled the hole with insulation that was on the side of the wall. Here's all my wiring. It looks like it goes through here, comes up through the floor. It comes in the back on this side of the camper in the bathroom, goes underneath the shower, goes under the floor, and up through the cavity where the refrigerator was, goes into here. And if you look outside here, there's a cavity between the bottom of the cabinet here and right here. So it all goes through here to this side. Anything that's being powered through here. And then a lot of it goes down this cabinet down into the microwave cavity where I put my solar system at. Controllers and everything. It's interesting. It, nothing to do with this refrigerator, but just how they build these things is sort of amazing. So anyway, there's where that's the next step. Now we're waiting. I got to run the 12-volt wire over to power the refrigerator.
And we're waiting for the refrigerator.
And we're waiting for the refrigerator. It was shipped. It's going to ship tomorrow, we hope, from the Dometic factory. We hope. It may not. So we'll see. We did not need the outdoor vent that comes out the side of the camper that actually vented the old refrigerator. I actually took a piece of PVC material that I bought at Home Depot for $30, cut it to fit the hole, and screwed it into its place. So now we just have it blocked off altogether. The hole that the old refrigerator used to use for venting. I just painted it as something to match, halfway match our camper. It looks fine. The refrigerator arrived today from a R&L Freight Lines. We unboxed it because it had a gash in it. We wanted to make sure it was okay. Everything looks fine on the fridge. It came on a pallet, a small pallet. We have to get it off the pallet and get it into the camper now. The wiring, it's got 3 wires that need to be hooked up to 12 volt. I'm using a 12 gauge wire because it's going under 10 feet. And we'll see what we get when we get it in there.
We got it in. It's not level yet. We had to take the doors off. And so now we're trying to get the doors. It's wired back there already. We didn't show you that. it was just too complicated to try to hold the refrigerator and record. As soon as we get the doors back on, we'll try to get it leveled up and show you what we have here.
Okay, right now we are taking the black wire that we had run from the back of the fridge, comes over to our solar input and our
Inverter and all that stuff.
Inverter and all that stuff, yeah. Basically, this is where all of our power comes in, and we're wiring the 12 volt to the two breaker bars that's inside there, which you probably can't see. It looks like a disaster anyway,
but it isn't. It's all real nice and neat down there.
I am finishing the wiring right now. I put a inline fuse that your dad suggested, which I think is a good idea. And I'm just putting the two wires. I went from the refrigerator onto the bus bars. Right now I got the ground in already. I'm just tightening up the bus bar. Screws.
The lights have only flashed once.
And Jim has not been shocked.
Yep. But he's not finished yet either.
Yeah, not done yet.
I moved the trash can closer to him because he kept handing me little pieces and little pieces and little pieces. He's like, wouldn't it be easier just to hand me the trash can?
Yes, it was. Okay.
Is it all done?
All wired.
Okay, here, take the recorder with you.
Well, I got to figure out how to turn it on. How do you mean?
I don't know how to turn it on.
Are they separate?
I don't know. I didn't see anything in there. It just tells you the freezer tells you
Mid, max, and min.
right. So I just put it on mid for now. You left the light down in there.
I know, I'm not done. I got to put the caps on.
Well, there's light in there.
We have lights.
We have a glow.
And I need to probably hit there's a button you'll have to hit and hold. And I remember reading that.
Oh, there's the buttons right there.
Where? Oh, they're there.
Right there.
I have no idea which one is which.
Me neither.
I can't read it. Can you read what it says?
Oh my gosh. We've had the Dometic refrigerator now for 6 months. And one of the suggestions that Jim and I would love to give you guys is before you bring it in to install it, take the doors off outside. You're probably going to have a small space like we do. If you're lucky, your space will be bigger. But with ours, because of the small space, it made it very difficult to put it in this hole. It's actually larger than the old refrigerator. The space isn't, but the inside cubic amount of space we have to put food in is much larger. So definitely take the doors off. They're really easy to take off. They're really easy to install. And we have a few little scratches that we put on it because we didn't do that.
So like Michelle said, we've been camping with it now for 6 months. And we've noticed our batteries, that we have 3 12-volt batteries in our camper and a nice solar system. It has kept up the refrigerator part super nice. It doesn't tax it at all. Every night we still are able to get back up to 100% easily. In fact, during the day, if the sun is out, it never goes below 100%. The freezer will keep ice frozen. In fact, the other day we stuck a couple of water bottles in there and we came back an hour later and they were froze. So it works fantastically. We do notice that the more stuff you have in your refrigerator, really the better it works. It keeps it colder. The more things you have in there, it works fine. So we do like it. We actually like the refrigerator. We would never go back to the 3-way. When we travel down the road, we can actually leave this on. It runs fine. We don't have to worry about turning the gas off or anything like that. So it always keeps things cold. We've never had a problem. There is a defrost mode on the refrigerator, and some people complained that it was loud. We've never really noticed it. So maybe it is a little bit louder. I don't know. We've never noticed any difference in the noise level at all. So we do actually really like the refrigerator. And other than getting it installed, that was the hardest part. Oh, another thing, we've noticed our gas use. We have 2 propane bottles up front, and now the only thing we use the gas for is for cooking and for the shower, you know, to get hot water. Please like this video if it gave you any hints at all, or if you found any of the content useful. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you haven't left any comments, and thanks for watching.